Now, we know times are tough and everyone is trying to save money, but the Fire Brigades Union says attempts by the fire service to save money could put the public in danger. Now, Devon and Somerset Fire and Rescue want to reduce the number of full-time staff at Taunton Fire Station by half. It would then replace them with part-time or retained firefighters who'd be called in if needed. Wayne Withey is from the FBU and he says that the service is already underperforming and that these changes will only make things worse.
We lose 50% of the whole-time workforce at Taunton Fire Station, thus reducing the 2 fire engines that are on call 24 hours 7 down to 1 fire engine, and the second fire engine then will become retained and only be crewed when we get a shout. Instead of 2 appliances being able to turn out together to a primary house fire or a road traffic collision, we'll only have 1 appliance able to turn out. We feel as though Taunton is definitely going to be less safe under these proposals. It's the time delay in being able to get that second appliance out the door. The attendance standards at the moment, we've got 2 whole-time appliances and we're only hitting 60 to 70% of our attendance standards at the moment. We can't do it even with 2 whole-time appliances. So if we drop to 1, it's just going to make it worse. We believe it's a real danger to the public.
Jez Rawlings is also from the FBU in the southwest and represents retained or on-call firefighters, and he says these changes will put extra strain on the retained firefighters at Taunton.
A retained firefighter is a person that carries a pager with them and can be alerted at any time, day or night. You have a normal primary employer, your day job if you like, and you have responsibilities there. At the moment, the retained firefighter gives as much as he can. If the proposals go through and the second fire engine at Taunton is no longer crewed by the full-time staff there, and we have to do it, it means our workload is going to double. It's going to be very difficult to make it work without putting extreme pressure on the retained, and it's going to cause problems for their employers.
Well, listening to that is Mark Healey, chairman of the Devon and Somerset Fire and Rescue Service. Mark, good morning.
Yeah, good morning to you, Matt.
Now, the FBU say the retained firefighters will struggle to cope with the extra workload. What would you say to that?
Could I just say something to start with? How sorry I was to hear about the tragedy in Waco, and I'm sure all our thoughts goes with those poor people over there. Let me start by saying how proud I am of all our firefighters, both retained and whole-time. You know, those that know me know how much I defend and fight any cuts that affect the service and may have an impact on the general public's safety. But saying that, you know, I've lobbied in government. I was supposed to be there yesterday, but for obvious reasons that was called off. I've called for the Minister of another meeting in May, which we're doing. But by saying that, what I have to say is that Devon and Somerset, you know, we've put a case forward, but the government's looking for hard evidence, and that's what we will need, hard evidence. Unfortunately, what they're not listening to, it's not fair. We don't want any change. You know, change...
But they're not... Hang on, what do you want hard evidence about? I mean, the hard evidence is you're saying that you want to halve the number of full-time staff, and retained firefighters will then have to get to the station and then head off for the fire, and they're saying that's more risky and that's going to have an impact on the service that they can provide.
And that's exactly the reason why we've gone out with a consultation document to the general public. It's in the public domain. I've been very sort of active in trying to, you know, getting the general public to look at the documentation, view it. I accept where firefighters come in from. They're very passionate people. You know, I am their greatest supporter, and they know that. But unfortunately...
Yeah, but do you think they're right or wrong, then? Will this, in your opinion, affect the service that they can provide to the public if you're halving the number of people that can do that service?
Yeah, let me answer the question again, because clearly, with the greatest respect, I'll say the question again. We have a consultation document, a load of stuff that's been put forward to the Fire Authority. These changes have been proposed to the authority. What the authority can't do is predetermine an outcome. You have to accept that. We have to get all the evidence. I've listened to firefighters. I was in Torquay last night.
Hang on, Mark, because we're going off. I'm not too interested in what you're doing last night.
Yeah. Okay.
Let me ask my question again, then. The FBU say the retained firefighters will struggle to cope with the extra workload. What do you say to that?
I'm saying to that is the fact that we are where we are. We have to do what we do. Of course, we've got I look after retained firefighters as well as whole-time ones, but we have to look at things differently. What my primary concern is to the general public safety...
Well, that's mine as well, so we're singing off the same hymn sheet there. Do you not think that this will affect the public safety? You're halving the number of full-time staff. Will that not affect public safety?
The evidence given to me so far from the officers of Devon and Somerset don't equate to that. What I want to hear is from the general...
Well, what do they equate to? Do they say that you can get rid of half the staff and actually you'll provide the service that you're already providing or better?
Absolutely, by using more on-call firefighters. If we need to recruit more on-call firefighters, we'll do just that.
But you're not meeting that. You already have these attendance time targets with 2 fully crewed engines. Now, and you're not meeting those targets, so it's not going to improve if you then get rid of the people that are actually in situ, is it?
But we're not actually getting rid, are we? I mean, again, that's slightly...
Well, you're putting something in place where people aren't actually there and they can get on an engine and go. You're saying, hang on a minute, they've got to come in from outside to get to that engine and go. That's putting a delay in the system. Surely that delay is going to affect the service, isn't it?
Could I explain one thing to you and the listeners as well?
Well, could you answer that question before you explain it, please?
Yeah, well, I will explain if you allow me to do that, thank you. Devon and Somerset have the largest complement of retained firefighters in the country, some 1,200. We rely mainly on retained firefighters. The hard evidence is this, I'm afraid, to employ crews on one pump is £1 million a year. That's the hard fact of life. We have to save money. To accrue a retained pump or on-call pump is 100,000. I know it sounds a little bit hard. I don't wish it to be.
I understand the differences in the economics there, but what I'm saying to you is this must surely the preference here, surely the way this should start from is the service that you provide to the public and their safety, and then you start thinking about the money. Don't you? If you're, and you just mentioned it's Devon and Somerset. Well, we're just talking about one particular place in Taunton where you're going to use retained firefighters instead of the ones that are already there.
And thank you for allowing me to speak. I've been to Taunton Fire Station. I've listened to the good people of Taunton Fire Station. I was there a couple of weeks ago. As I said to them, put a case forward to the Fire Authority, the reasons why. If that is the impact you want, I have to mitigate that. The Fire Authority has been very realistic about it. We actually put the precept up to help save some of this hardship we're about to have. I also explained to firefighters and to the good people in that actual fire station that I'm happy to do that. I'm happy to go anywhere the FBU want. In fact, we've got a meeting with them today, with the RFU and everybody at the Fire Authority today to listen to their proposals. But where I'm coming from is, what the FBU is saying is to retain what they've already got. They're asking me and the general public of Devon and Somerset to raise the precept by 24%. Do you think the general public are going to accept that?
Well, one of the things that I thought they were saying was that the FBU wanted some changes to people who aren't actually firefighters, so admin staff and back office personnel, because surely what I thought they were saying is, the people that are actually at the business end, the firefighters, are the very people that you shouldn't get rid of, but actually there might be back office people where you could save money there.
Absolutely, and again, they're very much correct. Currently today, we've taken £1 million out of back office personnel. We're about to take a further £1.5 million cuts. Everybody is being affected, everybody. It's not the fact. I have every admiration for our frontline firefighters. They know that. Those people that know me know that, and I will defend them to the hilt. But I have to be realistic as well and look at all proposals out there. I want the general public to consult on this documentation because it's a consultation document. Nothing is set in tablets of stone. If the general public come back overwhelming and say, we don't want these cuts, we don't want Taunton Fire Station affected, of course we'll listen to it. But I cannot predetermine an outcome, and I think all those firefighters at Taunton that know me know I'm on their side, I'm on everybody's side, but I think they do actually respect the fact that, as I say to them, I have to have all the evidence in front of me with the authority to make that decision. May I repeat, nothing is set in tablets of stone.
No, I think we just need to make everyone aware the consultation period, does it end on Monday, Mark?
No, actually, we have extended it for a further week till the 26th of April, so those people that haven't been able to look at the document or study it, to give them that little bit of extra time. Let me explain one thing to you before, obviously, clearly, you've got other duties and other things to do. Whatever happens on the 26th, it will go through to the authority, which will sit in July to make a decision. I don't mind if that decision takes 2 days or a week to compile, to bring the evidence together. Whatever that decision is, we are going to listen to those good people of Taunton. We are going to listen to other people in other areas that are affected. The authority will make a decision based on the evidence placed in front of us. Not on a knee-jerk reaction, on, oh, it's going to happen anyway. That is not the case at all.
OK, Mark, thank you very much for your time this morning. That's Mark Healey, Chairman of the Devon and Somerset Fire and Rescue Authority.
I honestly can't believe that they're proposing to make these cuts. I can't see it working. All they're saying can really appreciate